Social media celebrity Alexandria Ocasio Cortez had a town hall meeting in her district the other day to meet with some of her constituents to hear their concerns, and thankfully, this woman showed up.
We're gonna be here for much longer because of the climate crisis. We only have a few months left. I love that you support the Green Deal, but it's not getting rid of fossil fuel. It's not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying, we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you, you're a pollutant. Too much CO2. We have to start now, please. You are so great. I'm so happy that you're really supporting the Green Deal, but it's not enough. Even if we would bomb Russia, we still have too many people, too much pollution. So we have to get rid of the babies. That's a big problem. Just stopping having babies is not enough. We need to eat the babies, and this is very serious. Please give a response.
Thank you. No, thank you. We'll go ahead.
Okay.
No, we'll go ahead. It's so no. Yeah, no. Thank you. So I think So one of the things that's very important to us is that we need to treat the climate crisis with the urgency that it does present.
Thank you, Alexandria tells her. Thank you. I don't know who this woman is yet, but hopefully we'll find out, because she deserves an Emmy for the best comedic performance on television. I haven't seen this level of trolling since Abel. If you're not familiar with him, he's a famous prankster who passed away last year, but his daughter made a documentary about him called Abel Raises Cain, which I highly recommend.
He relishes pulling a fast one on reporters.
Fooling the public by twisting the media's tail.
A veteran media hoaxer, Abel, has owned up to orchestrating the scam.
He's known to some as the world's greatest hoaxer.
That's his art form. His art form is the hoax.
Others call him a complete menace to the media.
Abel was my first real lesson in journalism.
To me, he's always just been my father.
He is a phony who tried to phony us up on the show. She's a phony. You're a phony.
AOC didn't get the joke, however, and later tweeted, "Hey everyone, we had a fabulous town hall tonight and I'll be highlighting some moments from it. At one point I was concerned there was a woman in crisis and I want to ensure we treat the situation compassionately. Let's not mock or make a spectacle, and let's work for Medicare for all." You're the one being mocked, moron! But I can see how people believe that the woman was serious, because liberals are that crazy. What's not a joke, however, is that AOC and Greta Thunberg and their puppet masters are scaring the children and giving them what some psychologists are calling eco-anxiety. Because if you were a kid and you didn't know any better and you thought that CNN was a news network, you would think the world was going to end in 11 years too. The New York Times recently published this, quote, breaking news, warning that climate change is severely straining the world's oceans and creating profound risks for coastal cities and food supplies, according to a major United Nations report. Oh, somebody better tell the Obamas they just bought some beachfront property. There are now reports that supposed scientists are actually sprinkling white sand on glaciers, hoping to block the sun's rays and prevent them from melting. A newly devised type of silica bead could help save melting glaciers from the onslaught of climate change, scientists say. The innovative, I would call it idiotic, the idiotic new approach developed by a company called Ice 911 employs minuscule beads of glass which are spread across the surface layer of glaciers. They are there to help reflect light beating down on them and slow what has become a tremendous pace of melt throughout the last several years. I keep seeing reports about poor birds and fish accidentally eating plastic and getting it stuck in their stomachs, but I don't think them eating glass is going to be any better for them. Bill Gates wants to start spraying glitter in the Earth's atmosphere so it'll float around up there and block some of the sun's rays. Fires burning across the Amazon forest have renewed the debate about solutions for climate change. Bill Gates is backing the first high-altitude experiment of one radical approach called solar geoengineering. It's meant to mimic the effects of a gigantic volcanic eruption. Thousands of planes would fly at high altitudes, spraying millions of tons of particles around the planet to create a massive cloud that would cool the surface. Gee, I can't imagine any unforeseen side effects happening from such an idiotic idea. But they better get those planes up in the air and start spraying that glitter real soon. Because according to world-renowned expert Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, soon the planes won't be able to fly because of climate change.
When it comes to the Green New Deal, people are like, and of course they come from this zero-sum mentality. We're going to take away your hamburgers. We're going to take away your airplanes. We're going to take away all of these things. And really, what this is asking us is, what are we going to make? Not what are we going to take away? What are we going to establish? And frankly, for everyone that says a Green New Deal is going to ground planes, I guarantee you climate change, which threatens storms, turbulence, airplane groundings, and airport closures, will ground airplanes far sooner and far worse than any sort of climate legislation ever would.
Oh, so we won't be able to fly, not because the planes are emitting too much carbon, they just won't be able to fly because of the climate change.
I can be upset that I get 10 plastic bags at the grocery store and then have to toss out my plastic bags because the recycling program in the area is tough.
What do you mean it's too tough to recycle plastic bags? Every grocery store in California has a little bin right by the door where you can drop them off. Speaking of California, they just banned the sale of all plastic bottles, including soda and water bottles, from the San Francisco airport. And speaking of recycling, the Green Party of Canada recently photoshopped their leader after she was pictured holding a cup to make it a reusable cup, and they even added a metal straw. This is the perfect example of just how phony these people are. Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was always complaining about global warming, yet drives a Hummer. And now the Green Party in Canada has to Photoshop an environmentally friendly cup into their leader's hand. There's not much I dislike more in this world than litter bugs, but I'm not gonna eat bugs in order to stop climate change. With winter rapidly approaching, I'm sure many of you in parts of the country will agree with me that we could use more global warming, because who likes to shovel snow? To help spread the word, order yourself a nice, cozy, I love global warming hoodie or long sleeve from my online store at markdice.com, or click the link in the description below. It is also available in a t-shirt as well, and a whole bunch of different colors. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.